Hi, everyone. I'm on. My keyboard out of the way. Hi, everybody. Christy Love. Hi, honey. Jessica, Tammy, April, Miss K, Chris, Crafts and Crimes, Fifth Elements, Susie, Pandora, Terry, Risa, Terry, closer to you. Hello, everybody. Sorry, I was taking an extra minute to get on. I was actually listening to something somebody sent me. All Hallows Eve live tonight. So, okay. As I tell everybody, I want you to speak with your loved ones on the other side as if you're talking to them as if they're still a person, because they are. I want you to address with them to give me messages for you. I don't control who comes through. This is All Hallows Eve, so it could be as many as 5 to 10 people that step through. I don't know how many are going to step through, but just remember. Okay. Okay, I want them to give me accuracy, speed, uniqueness, clarity on all situations. I only ask for loving, healing messages of guidance and all that. Anything that's positive, I'm for. Hi, everybody. Cool Molly. Hello. So I ask all of you to start speaking to your loved ones. Do not give me anything right now. No names, no places, no how they passed away. This is, I want spirit to come through in that way to name and give me the information that way. Very raw type information. Okay. Yeah, Cindy, I bet surgery is no easy ride. You are with a positive group tonight, so everybody can send you healing energy. I am going to okay. I need to see you. I just been hearing your name as soon as I saw it and you popped on. I need to see. So basically how I do it on a Hallows Eve live is it's basically like a regular live. It's just with the timing of the veil being so thin. Most times we get anything from a group of energies that come through or specific things that come through in certain areas of spirit. No cases tonight, as hard as it may be. I know you want to ask, but remember, we're here for loved ones tonight only. No other casework tonight. I deal with casework on a daily basis, so we're not here for casework tonight. We're going to be here for spirit to come through, speak to their loved ones, okay? Okay. If there's any questions you guys want to ask before we do this, because we are going to be on here a bit. That way it gives people ample time to get messages and to see who for. Okay. I am going to turn on our, if it gets to be where it's too much, we'll shut it off. Okay. Deborah Patterson, I'm glad you're here, honey. We're going to turn on our REM pod tonight and see where we go with that. So she's on. I'm touching it, so obviously it's going to go off. Okay. I swear to you, this place is so active, it's not even funny. I need you to stop that for now so I can do this video until... We will have our talk. Please stop setting it off. So everybody, I want you to make sure you have any cats or dogs or any type of animals. Please put them inside tonight for purposes of people use animals for ritualistic things, for sacrifice. So please keep your animals in for the next couple of days. Do not let them outside unless you're with them. I'm going to... No matter what I do, it goes haywire in here. Yeah, it's definitely... Can you see this thing going crazy? The immediate energy tonight and just the last few days is insane. So if I have to shut this off, I will. I understand, but you have to let me do this or I have to shut it off, okay? Please stop. I am going to shut that off. I don't want to, but for some reason, the energy in this building is so heavy. This is what it does from the time I turn it on. I can't even, I thought it was going to give me, I thought it was going to give me that gesture of, okay, I'll stop, but it's not. So I'm going to shut it off. Okay. We can try turning it back on in a few minutes. That's not a malfunction in any way. The heat is great in here. There's no temperature drops in here. This is run by battery. This is brand new. I check it every time. And as you can see, it lights up different areas of the REM pod. See? The energy in this room is so vast. That's me. I'm going to shut my ringer off as well. No, I can't mute it because that's the purpose of having it on. There's no point in having it on if I can't I can't just mute it that way. That's the purpose of the device. So yes, everybody, it's great to see all you here. I definitely, Amanda, hello. Thank you, my darling. I can try it off and on through the live, but it's very, very, and I can't leave it on in the office because once I leave, if this goes off, the other people in the office can complain and say there's something going off in the office. So I really don't want to leave it on. Thank you, everybody, for your support. I really, truly, deeply appreciate you. I am going to be doing, now that I have the Zooms down pat, I'm going to try to Zoom with people once a week as a small group. I want to try small groups at a time. I do have, I think, like 8 or 9 people down, and we can do it in increments. So that way it'd be easier. It's a place where you can, tell your stories about, supernatural or gifts. We can talk about balancing your energy, everything and all, just like here. It's just more face to face. It's a great way to communicate better as well. Melissa, Jessie Lane, thank you, my darling, Jessie Lane. Fifth Element. It's so hot in Louise. I can't believe that I'm right. I know it's it doesn't feel like Halloween this year, does it? It doesn't feel that. See, I'm used to this type of energy, but Halloween has a feel to it. Spooky story. It's not too spooky, but let's just say understand that there are things that can shapeshift. So there are shapeshifters. There are things that can shape into animals. A couple Halloweens ago, my sister and I and my grandkids and my husband and I, we were all walking for trick-or-treating. And it just so happened that there was this beautiful black cat, just so beautiful. And it was just, there was something about it that just seemed off to me. And it's only a couple houses down. And looking at the cat, this cat didn't blink. It didn't move. It was so beautifully, it's weird that I'm going to say majestic, but it was beautiful. And I had told the lady on the porch, I said, your cat is beautiful. This beautiful big black cat with green eyes. And there was something about it that stood out that I just knew wasn't natural because this thing didn't blink. Cats blink all the time. They can stay for so long before they blink, but this cat didn't blink. It didn't nudge. It didn't move. It just sat there at the far end of her driveway, way, way in the back. And I complimented. I said, your cat is beautiful. And she's like, I don't have a cat. I said, well, it's a big black cat at the end of your driveway, and it's just staring. But I knew then that wasn't, and it might sound something as simple, but I knew that that wasn't just a cat. It was something else. I had later on seen that cat on my camera system. And the strange part about this story is I have camera systems surrounding my whole house. So my camera goes off at 11-ish in the morning. And there's the black cat. But the black cat had something between its eyes here. It looked almost like it was pulsating, glowing. It sounds crazy. I know. Trust me, everything I say sounds crazy to me. I don't know why. But needless to say, it stopped in front of my door, and I looked directly up at my camera so I could see it. And it put its head down, and it walked away. So there are things that can take shape and form. Always make sure that you are spiritually protected because those things occur and they actually really do happen. I love cats. You know, you guys saw I tend to get mostly black animals because they are so badly targeted. They're always told they're bad luck, and I personally get them because I feel like they're left out because they're listed as bad luck. Oh yeah, definitely, Anita. Animals can spiritually change. Well, I don't know how many people are Wiccan or into craft or anything like that, but when you hear the term familiar, familiars are not your house pets. A familiar is an energy that does your bidding for you. So you call upon your familiar to do your work. Witches would call it borrowing way, way back. Now, I only found this out not about a couple years ago. Witches would use animals and borrow them, so to speak, and put their energy into the animal. But the longer they stayed in the animal, the higher risk they had of becoming the animal. Chase's mother, my cat, she's so beautifully unique. She has all black, she's all black, and then she has a calico strip from here to here, just right there, a calico strip, this beautiful orange multicolor strip that goes across her head. And then she has one blue eye and one green eye. And I was hoping Chase would end up having one eye that color, but it never came to. So, any questions about anything supernatural on this day that you guys want to answer tonight, that you want to answer to or clarify on? Before we start, I will give it till 10 for those questions. Like I said, please no casework though. Casework is not for tonight. Oh, Jacqueline, I'm so sorry. I never thought putting an animal to sleep was going to be as hard as it was. But when I had to put Leah down, I was torn. Skinwalkers, well, to different traditions, skinwalkers are in Native American traditions, it is, they would say, a witch that would have to do certain initiations to gain access to such shape-shifting. And I don't want to say witches, certain energies you would have to work with, and you'd have to do things to gain that type of level of access to, so to speak. Perfect example. I've seen several shape-shifting things in my life. I was outside with Leah in the backyard, and it was right before Thanksgiving. I remember it very well. It was daytime. I saw what looked to be in the far off. I saw what looked to be an owl fall out of the tree, and I thought, "Oh my God, I need to go help this animal." But something stopped me immediately. Completely immediately. This thing stood up off the ground, and it had to have been at least 6 foot tall. It was nothing but blackness. It took the shape of a person, but there was no, facial features or anything. I was frozen solid. I could not move. I could not breathe, because what if this thing heard me breathing or move? And I was trying to get my dog back in the house, and I'm the type of person, I'm not going anywhere without my dog. So, and then I realized it looked past me and looked the other way, but it didn't notice me for some reason. And I got my dog right in the house, and I didn't go back outside for a few days. My great aunt Irene was a witch. Truly, she wrote the book, The Witch That Switched. I'm not afraid to say on here, I come from a family of such. We don't hurt anybody. We don't hide anything. It's very, very, I'm very open with anything. Questions asked, even so. Miss K says, an owl fell out of the tree when my dad was driving to church at the Abbey. My dad said it was bad. Well, what I saw was what looked to be an owl falling out of a tree, and my first response was, I need to go make sure this animal's okay. Then I got to the third step of my back steps, and then I realized that's not an animal. Protection from those things. I would tell you to use certain items, but your best bet is to always be vigilant in understanding what that could be. Skinwalkers are very noticeable because they don't kind of look fully like an animal. But you have to realize that they're not just animals. They can take shape of people. They can take the shape of a person, and you really won't know it until um, because we lived on native land. I had a problem with that specifically, and my granddaughter one night, she was playing. It was in the evening around 6 or 7. She was only like a couple of years old. She was playing. We were playing hide and seek, and in our front hall, you have to either come in or come out from that way. You can't get into the living room without passing us. My husband and I are sitting on the couch, and my granddaughter Riley said, "Nani, come find me." And I said, "Okay, you go hide, and I'll come find you." And she always had one hiding spot, just one. And I gave her a few minutes tops, and I said, "Let's go find her," because she's waiting. So I go on the side of our refrigerator. We had a space like this because we never had our refrigerator right next to the wall. It was just, that's how we did it. She wasn't there. I checked in the few rooms off the kitchen. I checked in the bathroom, and I said, "She's not here. Where'd she go?" So I'm like, she had to have been hiding under bed or in the closets. We looked everywhere, needless to say. So I got really panicked. I got really worried. I said, "Oh my God, the back hall, the steps. I looked in my basement, my back steps, and I started to cry, and I said, "Something's wrong. There's no way she could have vanished." So I started to cry, sat down for a minute, and I calmed myself down. My granddaughter runs out of the front hall where we originally were the first time. And my husband and I looked at each other so puzzled, and we just said, "Okay, we're not going to do this again." So we knew it was more or less something that took shape of our granddaughter to kind of try to scare us, try to fool our head. I always tell people, mark your land with pure iron water. Iron is a protective metal that dates back centuries. It's, you name it, it's in the Bible, it's in folklore books, it's everywhere. What you're going to do is you're going to get iron nails. Excuse me, you're going to get iron nails. And you're going to let them sit in water so they can get rusty. You can get rusty. Let it rusty. Put it under a full moon cycle, day and night. Sun under the sun, masculinity under the female moon cycle. I want you to do both 3 days. Make sure it's a full moon cycle. And then when you do, I want you to pour it around your yard, your setting of your home. You do your circumference of your home. I always say the yard more so because that's where people frequent the most, but the front of your house is okay too. It's okay, Lane. You don't have to be afraid, or you don't have. It does a lot of stuff sounds weird until you really practice the art of spiritually protected. You can say if you're Christian or you're religious, do whatever makes you feel safe and spiritually protected. You don't have to do anything anybody says. Vicky, I always did growing up, so it's nothing new. I have tough skin. You had 12 crows in your yard yesterday, Molly? Olive oil. I can tell you guys how to make a spiritual oil. It's spoke of in the Bible. You're not supposed to remake it. You're not supposed to make the actual remake of it. It's spoken of in the Bible. It's pure olive oil. It's cinnamon sticks. It's you can use cassia. You can use cinnamon sticks, which is basically the same thing. They're just from different areas. Myrrh oil, frankincense oil, and you put it all together. And you can either have it blessed. You can, leave it for who you pray to, whether it's angels, to God, to any which way you do it. Do it how you are. Do what you believe in spiritually, because that's where you want the connection spiritually. It doesn't have to be with Catholic, but it also can do. You can put it on if you have an altar and you have a deity. You can do it that as well. Do whatever way you are connected spiritually. Do it with your ancestors. You don't even have to do it that way. You could just, ancestors protect me at all times, bless this oil. And you can make any type of sigils or protective symbols on your doorways. Even a lot of Hispanics Latinos will use pine oil, and they will sweep their front steps and their sidewalk because they're sweeping away the negative energy. And pine is a protector spiritually. Hi, Miss Aggie. Hi, Laura K. But do whatever makes you spiritually feel connected and protected. It doesn't matter what you practice. It doesn't matter who you believe in. I believe in everything. That's it. I believe in everything. I do not judge one versus the other. I just think, we're all in this together and we all have our own ways of doing things. The full moon is a very, very magical thing. It has a pull specifically with more female energy. So that's why we females are more connected to the moon itself. Dana Lynn, what is something red put on, all door casings rubbed with the hands? What do you mean? There is brick dust that is used in certain types of folk magic, which is hoodoo. You can use that in voodoo as well. A lot of people undertake what those two things are. They think it's negative when really it's not. Hoodoo, you are using your ancestors, you're using the prayers from the Bible. You don't have to make everything dark and unnatural when it comes to something that is not of religion stance. When a full moon happens, everything goes wild. When I went into labor for Caleb, the hospital was so packed with labor patients. There were women giving birth in the hallways. It was really strange. And I mean, crime picks up. The tides work with the moon. Everything is affected by the moon. Animals, the tides, you name it, it's affected by the moon. We are literally affected by the moon. Denise, a few years back, I was going to bed, told my twin grands was going to bed. They yelled, wait, wanted a goodnight hug. I waited in the doorway to my room. Girl came first, then the boy twin. A third male was behind. Well, what do you mean? As in energy form? Well, that could have been, if they were twins, that could have been, it could have been your child or whoever the twins were. That could have been actually a triplet child. That could have been a passed on soul from the family line. Hi, everybody. Thank you, darling. Aggie, knowledge is power. Yes, it is. A lot of people, and what I mean by putting your animals in the house, um, that has nothing to do with witchcraft because there is no devil in the craft. Um, when there are worshippers of the D, I don't like to really say him too often. Um, they will sacrifice animals. That's why it's very important to put your animals in the house on this time of the year because they go crazy at this time of the year. Yes, women are more affected by the moon than men. But it varies though. There's a reason why it can make people actually go crazy in some ways. Yes. Fifth element. Am I cursed, hexed, binded? How can I tell and remove it? Well, why do you feel that way? Oh, knowledge is power. My oldest was born on a full moon and buried on a full moon. I'm so sorry to hear that. My son was a vanishing twin. He sees things that aren't there, and I used to talk to my brother who wasn't there. I didn't even know the gender, so I just say it was his twin brother. Well, if you get that feeling in your gut, it's usually right. So for me, I've had miscarriages, but I know in my heart, I feel them. I've had several, and I know I had another girl, but I also know I had two other boys. You feel that. I think my granddaughter was a twin for many reasons, and I think she absorbed her twin, but I think it was a boy. Mother in law hates me, and she is into secret, baneful stuff. Well, there's ways to combat that, honey. Just hit me up on Facebook. I lost two sons, 31 and 24. Wow, that is so terrible. I am so sorry for that. Hi, Jessica. Hi. And I want you to understand anything when just because you miscarry and that child didn't walk here, they only lived in the womb. It does not mean that they didn't share DNA with you, a soul connection with you. I've had several people that I've read to where the passed on child in the womb comes through. So, and the parents and the people that Thomas Grimes sends me a friend request. Um, I've had plenty of readings where people don't tell. I don't give the access to people to tell me. You're not allowed to tell me in my readings before you meet me anything. So no names given, but a woman came to me and she deep down wanted to know about her child. Was the child a living, breathing thing outside of the womb? And I brought that up and she lit right up and she couldn't believe what came through from the other side for her. Just because they didn't walk here in the physical world does not mean that they don't walk in the spiritual world. And the first thing that your loved ones are going to do is come for that child. They will walk in the spirit world waiting for you for them at the end. Knowledge is power. Do you ever have a Carlo or I have not yet, but I have people that wait in a few years and boom, it's like all that time they waited and there it is. Oh yes, cool Molly, for sure. I remember several. Did you hear that? Above my head again. I have a past memory of, it was actually one being, see, I always say that we travel in threes with our family. So we travel in threes with the family members that we usually, um, when there's something that wasn't healed or something that we need to come back and fix in the next life. And I will get back to your messages, okay? I remember a life where my sister, my mom, and we were judges in the witch trials, and it's ironic because we come from a family which is this life around, and I remember what we were wearing. I remember what we looked like. We were men. We weren't even women, and I could tell you who was who. I could tell you what we were going to do. I remember everything in the dream. And then I also have a memory of playing with my little sister in that life. But in this life, she's my older sister. In that life, she was my younger sister. And I remember we were playing in this field, and it must have been at least late 1600s, early 1700s, maybe. And we were playing with each other in the field. And I actually was drowned in that life by two men in a river. And I told her to go hide, and no matter what she hears, I told her to not come out, that I wouldn't be coming back. The other one is I remember an airplane accident. Jessie Lane, I understand that because I felt a deep connection to my mother-in-law. I loved her very dearly. I was there to her last breath when she passed away. Um, Sometimes relationships are so broken within each other that we are sent someone to show us what it was supposed to be like to love somebody and have someone love you in that manner. So it's not, it could be a past life thing, absolutely, but maybe they were sent there to help heal you in some way. At least you could have that, even if it wasn't from your own family, you could feel what it's supposed to be like. So, um, Ivy's mom, the only past life I remember is living this life. Why again? I didn't get it right the first time. No, it's not that you only remember this life. It's probably something that you've completely blocked out. People don't remember sometimes their past lives. My perfect example, my sister, she bought me this beautiful brooch. Now, I've seen brooches all of my life. All of my life. My mom used to wear them. Cameos. They're called cameo brooches. Never had a connection to them. My sister goes and buys me a brooch. She said, I needed to buy you this brooch because I heard your name when I saw it, so I knew I had to buy it for you. I touched the brooch. Do you not know that here comes another past life? Sometimes it just needs to take a trigger object that you're connected to in some way. And sometimes you're not connected to them at the moment or later on in life. Sometimes things come to you later on in life. It doesn't have to be right then and now. I remember I'm Southern. I have tons of money in that life. I have someone dressing me, doing my hair. My husband was a general. I was even speaking almost like a Louisiana, uh, like a Louisiana Bayou type of Cajun French, maybe. We were very, I don't even know if that goes with that timeline, but it was a specific Southern uh, language that is spoken, but I remember. Yeah, Marianne, that might be that might be a past life. For me, I would have to say, Dana, I don't think there is a time limit. I think it happens at the right moment at the right time. My dad didn't cross over for like 5 years after he passed. So I think it's some people go directly over, some people hang back, some people, are in that timeline to where they have a choice. Creole, I think, right? Hi, Patty. Um, Mary Moore, absolutely. Absolutely. It's strange because I have my my bedroom walls are like this, and it's like I know those are all past life uh, decor. Like I have a deep connection to Native American. I have deep connection to the craft. I have deep connection to God. I have deep connection to so many different things compiled and complex together. But I also know that has to do with before and current. But the part of that is you have to understand you're in this life now. Things that we're afraid of usually are things from our past life. Uh, Anything that we're afraid to do in this life is usually something we were afraid of in our past life and then we just brought over and we never got over. I have a Wendy. Okay. Sometimes I'm a black woman in my dreams, so I am sure that past life. Yeah. Fifth element, that's very, very, very funny that you say that because that's an actual way to see your past lives. If you zone out into a mirror, you'll start to see your face change. And I can say that I've seen many faces in the mirror. And that is, but you get a connection to yourself, you know it's you. But that is a very, very old practice that you're talking about. Lois, hello. My whole bedroom is I have the drum, I have you name it, I have it. Your grandson looks just like your husband that is passed, same birthmark, same head shape, and also left-handed. It's my grandson's not his biological grandson. Um that really doesn't matter. My sister-in-law always told me that she would be coming back. She used to tell me in my dreams, I'm coming back when you're my daughter has her son, and my daughter never had a son until only a few years ago. And I stated this on here before. He just came up to me one day and he started telling me, am I such and such? And I said, well, what do you mean? Of course you are. You're your daddy's son and your mommy's son. And he goes, well, how come I had kids before? And I said, well, in this life, you're so and so. And he said, but don't you again he got a little mad at me because he said, don't you remember? And I'm like, well, what am I supposed to remember? You tell me. You never ever ever place thoughts into a child's head when they speak of a past life because you're giving them information. Let them tell you. And he said, don't you remember when we went to the enchanted forest? And I'm like, enchanted forest, you know we had went, and oddly, he's like, no, don't you remember when such and such, I needed to borrow money? And he named my husband by name. And he never calls him by his name. He calls him Papa. But needless to say, the name that came up with, only his sister called him. And he named all his sister's kids. He said, my oldest son was such and such. And I looked right at him and I said, well, you're in this life, you're Joaquin, but it's okay to remember things. You can always tell Nani things. Um, I guess you could say, Molly, you could. I don't know. maybe out of the lesser, like, do I want these parents? Can I have these parents? I wonder if we're guided to have a choice in that manner. Sunshine, I have been seeing a lady that is a cake decorator and bakery owner. I have seen her in my dreams for years. I have seen and talked to her before, but not lately. I try but can't get her to. Now is it only in your dreams that you see her, or was that somebody in life that you saw and you started dreaming about her? Because Miss Pandora, she told me the other night that I was in her dream. Oh, we definitely have to learn. Earth is um, one big school. You have to keep coming back here till you learn, till you learn, till you learn, till you learn everything it is you're supposed to learn. Maybe one took your life. It's terrifying to me. Well, the unknown is scary to people because we're taught we're supposed to fear it. We're taught that it's bad. We're taught that when we're in reality, a lot of the things in the Bible were taken out that were spoken of these type of things. Uh, to have access to things is to have knowledge. I've had people ask me about the Akashic records and where can they find them. I said, well, Akashic records are not some file that you can look up on paper. That is your memory database from all the lives that you've lived. And you can actually meditate into those Akashic records and you will start to have things being manifested and what comes to you. You'll see an old picture in a book and say, I know that place. I've been there before. That happens to me all the time. So little things like that. Pandora's sending me a laughing face. She knows our inside joke. There's a reason why people have dreams about past lives. That's because it's in the subconscious mind of memory banks. When someone does come back to try again, can you still get spiritual messages from them if they are back on earth trying it all over again? To that, Mary Moore, what you would get would be the past of, now depending, are you talking about yourself or are you talking about somebody else? You have to decipher the two. Listen, Lost Voices with Jackie. I have a ridiculous fear of heights, even if I see it on TV. I've always thought it because of a previous death. Well, you probably have, because I'm afraid of heights. Because why? I passed away in an airplane accident in one of my lives. I can't see ocean waves crashing, like the heavy, deep, deep, deep ocean where, you know, you see the waves crashing and huge. I lose my breath. Why? Because I know I've passed away in water before. Oh, someone else. Um, let's see. Let me just reread your question so I can give you an answer here. So when someone passes away and they've moved on to the next place, so a different person, different body, I would say the spiritual energy is a unit. We exist in all times and spaces, here, there, and everywhere. No, you're not late. So when we receive messages, we can receive messages from multiple times and space-time continuum. Taylor Miller, can you tell me if my dad is sending signs or if he has forgotten about me? Taylor, well, I'm going to answer that question for you. No one is ever forgotten on the other side. Deja vu is big in past life things because you are aware of the situation. I've been here. I feel some people even though they've never been in a certain place, They know exactly what door to open. They know exactly what place to go to get something off here or do this. Or it's a very unique feeling to have deja vu. Some people even remember names or smells or signs that used to be up or unique things that they wouldn't have known. So yes, that's a possible thing. Aggie, that could be a possible past life. Lady Divine, I could really use your help with my dad and myself. Well, I'm all ears, honey. Hello. Yeah, there's no casework tonight. If that question was for that, honey, I do apologize, but we're not doing any casework tonight. There are other lives that I will definitely work with. Ginger Bell, I have always had horrible nightmares and I need to take them. I need to take sleeping meds to sleep now. Nightmares are um, trapped emotions, possibly from childhood trauma, possibly from trauma that you might not even remember, or past life trauma. Sometimes it can be so heavy and energetically wise in that manner that a lot of people don't put the two together like a puzzle, which that usually is what our subconscious mind shows us things that are scary, but in actuality, they're actually showing us in a way that it's a photogenic thing. I'm going to scare you because this is a trauma. This is the bad thing that happened to me, and I need to show you in a way that you're going to be terrified. Your brain's telling you you have to get past whatever trauma it is, but I'm going to scare you to do it. So you're going to wake up. Well, what was that? What was I doing in the dream? It's very unique that way. Aggie, you dream of your ex that passed away. Well, that's just how they come to you for some people. Amanda Stewart. Let me look back and see, honey. It's my birthday. It's my birthday today. He said, I gotcha. Let me see. Go back to somebody. Amanda Stewart. April, if something comes through for you, honey, tonight, I will definitely give it to you. My granddaughter had horrible nightmares that she had being murdered. I contacted a friend thinking, yep. I was just gonna say, dream catchers are always great when an actual Native American, an actual practicing Native American tribe makes them, or a shaman. Mary Moore, I hardly ever recognize people in dreams, but there are many. Is it the event I'm dreaming about I should concentrate on? Well, I want anybody that has dream questions, I want you to get a regular notebook, get a pen. Regular notebook. It could be $1, it could be, doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. I want you to get a pen and I want you to put it next to your bed. I want you to write down any single detail that you can remember about your dreams every single morning. I want you to do this practice because those who are going to be Zooming with me, I'm going to give you actual understanding of what those dreams mean. But do it as a practice for yourself because it can actually help you map out your day. My friend learned it from her grandmother and was taking powers. Um, I'm not going to bash any Native Americans. I bought a necklace from a local place, and I'm very in depth with Native Americans come to me when natural disasters are coming. They have come to my mom. They've come to my sister. So we have a connection with Native American culture, Native American energies. I've seen them. They've shown themselves to me. But um, some can have some cloudedness to their energy, and when they're making things and selling things, their energy is weaved into things. I call them weavers. Weave their energy into anybody that is in their thought process, in their crocheting or braiding or weaving. I call them weavers because if you're thinking about negativity, you're putting your negativity into the weaving. Anytime you do that, and I think that's what happened with this necklace. I had nothing but terrible nightmares with this necklace, and because I always hang crystals over my lamp above my bed. And this specific necklace that I bought, I was having such deep nightmares, and I felt so drained spiritually when I woke. I knew who made this necklace made it to steal my energy. They trigger objects you can take from people. So always be weary of gifts that you know from people that are in certain practices because they can use that item to take from you spiritually. Robbie, I'm knitting right now. Well, as long as you're knitting with love, that's all that matters. She is asking if you can see them or is there something wrong she needs to fix. Any girl, not believer. Patty Mash. There, I had the same dream, Grandpa. We're going to be getting into the group reading soon and see who comes through for who in a minute. I just like to give, it doesn't have to be about cases all the time, it has to be about us too. Um, I will give a few more minutes and then we'll head in. I just like to give people an experience here with understanding certain techniques or things that, they really have questions about spiritually. I have not seen the news about Sebastian Rogers, no. Bobby Wingler. Bought a totem pole at a flea market. I have always wondered if its origins and if it is haunted. LOL. Um, I have a very dear friend who whose son took a rock from a local um, park, but it's not a regular park. It's got a creek, it's got woods, it's basically someplace where you can go walk. Um, something so innocent, something so you pick up a rock, it's nice. But where he picked it from was like over by the creek area, and sometimes when taking things, you have to realize it can look nice where it is, but you should never pick it up because it doesn't belong to us. Um, a lot of places are native. A lot of places that we live came native before us. And a lot of things are sacred. And sometimes we shouldn't just take things because we see them, because that energy can come back with you. And that's exactly what it did to one of my friend's sons. I mean, he doesn't speak of being hurt or tormented or anything like that, but I actually have pictures of the energy, and I heard the rock first thing I went to in his room, and I knew an energy was connected to that rock because that rock was sacred to that group. Right. Yeah, Mary Kay. Miss K, sorry. Okay, Mary Moore, hold on. This is long, sorry. I had a dream. I was in a room with lots of people. all of a sudden someone threw a baby wrapped in a blanket right in front of me, and the child slid across the. Okay, that could express someone actually having a miscarriage. I actually have that a lot in a dream, to where a baby is wrapped in a blanket and kind of like being tossed out of the blanket is supposed to keep the baby warm and comforted and safe. And if the baby fell out, that's just the womb is safe, it's warm. So that's a representation of a miscarriage. Oh, you see, Mary Moore, um, miscarriage, but you're also talking about you yelled the floor, I yelled out. Why did you do that? I woke a few hours later and your son had passed. So that is a form of. I'm so sorry to hear that, honey. That's awful. Yes, Jessica Lane. You should always ask. So, in Native tradition, when we go to places to take herbs and heal, we use herbs for medicinal properties. Like we use sage. When we take the sage from the earth, you can give back. You always are supposed to ask and also give something back. You can use sacred tobacco, or you can give a little piece of your hair, but you never take everything. You're supposed to understand that plant is given. You have to get permission. And I know that sounds foolish, but everything has a soul. Everything has. That's like a tree. Not all trees. If you take a test next summer or wherever you are in a warm temperature, you ever feel to where you're comfortable under some trees and there's some other trees that you don't feel comfortable? There's a reason for that. Their energy is telling you to get the hell away from them. I know, Mary. That is no one's the same after that. It's really sad that you're not supposed to bury your child. Your child's supposed to bury you. It's terrible. I had I had went to my sister's house one time, and I was actually making a I was making a broom for my space, and I was actually taking pieces of the branches that, broken and old from the trees, and I heard, take only what you need. The trees and all of the elements outside, they have a voice too. They listen to what they see, what you do, they listen. Trust and believe, especially when you're cutting down trees. My house, we had 17 trees, and I told my husband ahead of time, we have to do something before we cut all these trees down, because we were at tick heaven where our house is. Our animals were covered in ticks, and I couldn't have the grandkids there with ticks. So we had to take them trees down. And I said, you need to wait, because you have to get permission. You have to do certain things and let the trees know it's not happening. We're not taking you down because we don't want you here. There's reasons for it, and he didn't wait. We had just bought a brand new washer and dryer. Out of the box, plug it in. That sucker don't work. The dryer washer went. Things just stopped working in the house. Our plumbing backed up. I mean, horrendously. And I told my husband, I said, you see, they do little things that will show you you should have waited. You should have let me do my thing. Harley girl, that's what my husband said about our son when we found out our special needs son was going to pass by too. He said he would sell his soul and pass 2 weeks later. He is 28 years now. Oh, so many losses that people endure in ways that I don't know how people can carry on mentally, and they do it in being that mentally strong, even though your heart is broken. To live that way, it's rough, but at the same time, understand that spirit, when they pass over, they don't want to see you broken. They don't want to see you hurt. They want you to live life thoroughly. They want you to be happy. They want you to smile again. But it's very hard to do that when you lose your child or a husband or a wife. It's not that simple to move forward. My son is as well, Lady Divine, but he sometimes can't distinguish reality through other things. Hi, Susan, no problem. I feel for people that have to bury their children, because to live through that is a torturous feeling. But at the same time, I want you to understand your child is watching from the other side, and they are wanting what's the absolute best for you. Yes. Okay. I'm trying to think if I missed anything on today. Um, Birdie, I have lost my boyfriend 23 years ago. To me in my dreams. Is there anything I can do to get him to visit me in my dreams? Birdie, sometimes that's the best thing that they know how to do, is just, my grandfather does that with me and my mom, because I'll give you my example, because my example is, I take care of my mom, and my mom is, I don't like to talk about it. She wasn't the best mom. I know I'm supposed to forgive her and I'm supposed to move on from it, but I take care of her still. I make sure she's taken care of every day. And my grandfather will just come in my dreams sometimes, and he'll sit across from us, and he'll look at each other. He'll look at us, and he'll have this disgusted look on his face, and I'm just like, I understand what he wants from me, but he has to understand it's not just me that needs to fix things. I can't be the only person to fix things. You understand? But also work with a dream journal. I don't know how many people, the people on my members live, they know about the dream journals. They know about um, the symbol library. So the symbol library is, you're going to pick a specific person. You can't use all the symbols for every soul that's passed over. You want a specific person, and for that specific person, you want a specific symbol. You want a specific day. You want a specific time. Each person that's passed on that meant something to you in life, you want to write down on a piece of paper a column. My dad, what time of day, what day of the week, what exactly I want a symbol I want to see. That way, it has to be something so special that you cannot mix this up. You can do this for each person, never the same symbol for a totality of a spiritual energy. You have to make sure it's all different. It's very hard to grieve somebody that's still alive, because I'm not going to lie, I feel like an orphan, but at the same time, it's always been that way. So I don't hate my mother. I let go of the pain many years ago. I've forgiven her for me so I can move forward. But I also know I don't have that, and never had that. And it's not just me, it's my other siblings too. But um You just have to know, do you want this life for your children? No. I have given my children hugs, kisses. I love you. I'm proud of you. I've been there. I've been to every birthday party. I've been through every recital. I've been through student of the month. I've been there. So I know I'm not my mom. But at the same time, I could never let my mom just die alone in a nursing home. Yes, Miss K. Every person you want to give a symbol ID to, but you want it to be something that you cannot mistake. I want to see a cardinal on my back porch on Tuesday night at 6 p.m. I know it's my mom. Or I want to see a white feather in front of my feet on such and such street at such and such time for such and such person. You want this to be so symbolic that you cannot mess that up. That's okay, Deborah. I mean, but take that with you in a way to where symbolically, where she is now, there is no hate, there is no grievances, there's no guilt, there's no doubt. Symbolically, put something in your mind for your mother that you always wanted to see in her. It can be a color, it can be an item, it can be a bird, it can be a dog, it can be a cat, it can be anything and anything that you want to see. Yes. I understand that, Dana. I definitely understand that. That's beautiful. I'm sorry, Tammy JC at Ivy's mom. I don't know if that is honey. Ivy's mom, I know your case and I know Ivy is happy with your choice. Okay. If their death doesn't hurt, then their life didn't matter. What do you mean? The the quote was, if their death doesn't hurt, then their life didn't matter. In death, there is no pain. The only pain is here, the understanding, the learning. That's why when some people cross over, they'll say, you'll hear the stories, I didn't want to go back. Because here is the actual pain and the understanding you have to get through life, and you have to do this, and you have to do this. This is where the pain is. But to cross over, there is nothing like that. You're only wanting to say your apologies so you can move to the next level, to the move to the next consciousness. I understand that, Debbie. Thank you, Lady Divine. I understand, Lisa Ann. It's some people grieve in a way to where we feel a physical pain in our body. Yes, that's true, Miss K. Yes. I never want to be someone's power of attorney because the hard choices that you have to make, I had to watch my husband do that, and it ripped his heart out to know that the absolute you have to have the absolute choice to pull the plug on somebody or um, make choices for them. And that is awful. And I mean, if I have to do it, then okay, but it's not a choice I would want. Yeah, I understand, Lady Divine. That's awful. Hi, Miss Joanna. Okay. Um, I felt that with my doggy. Yeah, I would find it a big burden. I have a brother for that. It's difficult. I mean, I had to watch my husband do it with his mother, and he was just destroyed. My sister-in-law, she chose hospice, so you know, we stayed until literally she passed away in our arms. So um, it's definitely something you have to really understand. No one's ever going to be ready for something like that. No one. You just have to be strong. You have to make sure that you really, really understand that memory is the most important thing that you can hold on to because it keeps that emotional connection. You can always move on and you can always say, I'm healed from it, but no one can ever say they found closure from burying a loved one. So that's a tough thing. Okay, I would like to start with my group reading. Um, Lost Voices with Jackie. That's usually something from the past. Um, and I will say this because I always felt that way about my son. But in memory, I was picking up a past life. My son used to be in the military in another time. I saw him with the old fashioned round hats, and I saw he had a pocket watch hanging. And the odd thing is, my son loves pocket watches, and I never understood that because he's like an old soul, but he's only in his 20s. So he would wear the old fashioned round hats, and he would have the pocket watches. And I always got the sense that I'm going to lose my child. And I always told my sister, I'm going to lose, you know, and it makes sense because at around that time, it could have been you would have lost somebody at that time in another life. So you're picking up on that energy, that short life that they had. And I don't have that about my son anymore. It came and went. And I could see my son in another life, and I could just picture him, and it was like a picture of what he used to look like. It was very breathtaking to see my child in another life. Poison Punk. My mother died last Sunday. She was surrounded by her three children and every grandchild. As soon as we arrived in the hospital, within 10 minutes, she started to pass away. Do you think she's happy? Absolutely. Most people think sometimes because they weren't there that they didn't pass in peace. That's not what spirits will move to the next venue. But if there's something that they see people holding back in life from because of their passing, they will. It's kind of like they try to interact with you in that way, but they can't if you're operating from a low level energy because they operate from a higher realm, so to speak. Does that make sense? And I would assume that she's at peace because that's the best thing. But at the same time, for some people that can't be there, a lot of people have grief about that, and they think in some way that you know, did they pass over peacefully because I wasn't there? I have guilt. They don't want you to have anything but happiness in your life. My dad, Aggie says, my dad passed away and was honored with an award placed at the foot of his grave yesterday. That is awesome, Aggie. Lady Divine, my grandmother waited for me to leave the room. Yes, they do that too. And some people will pass before because what people don't understand is they will do this prior to because they don't want you to, or they'll wait for you to leave because they don't want their last memory of them to be in your head. To leave you with a memory of, okay, I didn't make it there. I'm so sorry. But they don't want those last memories of them to be stuck in your memory. They want you to remember them in the most beautiful way ever. What did you do? Your traditions. How happy were you in life? Who taught you how to ride a bike? Who taught you how to read? Who read you a book? Who just loved you? My dad said it was my fault he had to go to the hospital before he passed. People say things, honey, out of anger, but I tell you, don't let that hurt you. My grandmother died on my 14th birthday. My grandfather died on my sister's 16th birthday. I understand that. Baby brother Joshua passed away in 2024. Wow, I have a brother of that name. When, Kelly T, did I realize my earliest memory was 4 years old. Very young. I knew I was very different. I knew I was not like the other kids. I could see by the way they interacted with each other and they saw things differently, while I used to just see things in a way that I just couldn't connect with a normal childhood. I just knew the things for me were so different. You feel it in your soul. Tina Marie, I absolutely think so, yes. And Angie, I gotta say, and this sounds morbid, and I don't want you to be angry about me saying this, but that is the best way to go. They went peacefully in their sleep, and that is honestly one of the ways that honestly I wish all people could go as they went and lived their life, because to have that grief of an unnatural death, or that is one of the best ways to pass forward is through your sleep. I know that's hard, but at the same time, understand she died peacefully. Because my parents are not blood, is that why they don't come? Nope, that's not true. In a reading, I will know. So when I have clients come into the office, they'll sit down. I said, hey, take a seat. I always call them the star of the show. I will know who's adopted because your family line stands next to you. Your parentals will, your mother on your father on your lineage line, your mother on your other lineage line. But I want you to understand, an adoptive parent that adopted you and loved you, when they show up, they stand up behind you. And that's how I know which one of my clients are adopted in life. Because when adoptive parents show up, that tells me, no, they weren't my birth child, but I'm showing up for them. I love them that much that I showed up for them. And I will know just by that who's adopted. Yeah, and a lot of people, sometimes I have a hard time asking, like, should I ask them if they're adopted? Do I tell them I know they're adopted? And the last client I had, I said, there's a man here, but he's standing behind you. And usually I get that in adoptive readings. And he said, yes, my dad was adopted, and I'm his grandson by that way. And he said, well, he showed up for you, and he wants you to know that he has your son with you. And the wife just started crying, um, because she had a miscarriage a couple months ago, and she had a boy, and she wanted to know who showed up for the child. But sometimes it's someone that loves you so much, they don't have to be related to you, but they showed up for you in spirit. That's what matters. I have a lot of messages. Sorry, guys. Just understand, sometimes it's supposed to happen that way. It's supposed to happen in that manner for many reasons. Yeah, I understand that. When energy comes for family, um, I always recommend, have one person, as hard as it may be, to record in the background. And that's not out of disrespect or anything like that, because usually you will pick up anomalies in the video. Um, I had told my husband, be ready. His mother came for his sister, and I saw a beautiful pink orb, and she stopped over each person's head. So I knew that was her way of, okay, I know who this is. I know who this. I need to come for her. It was like, okay, I know it's not her. I know it's not her. And then boom, I know who I'm here for. And I had told him, your mom came in a pink, beautiful ball orb. And in that way, sometimes you pick up anomalies in the video. And I'm not saying, out of disrespect to do that, but sometimes it's the most beautiful experience because, one, you can say goodbye in your own way and have that version of saying goodbye, but you'll also pick up things in the air around the person that's passing. Amanda Stewart, I've seen so many orbs, even in your. Oh, yeah, yeah. Let's test this guy out before we start, shall we? Okay, look. This is just me turning it on. Obviously, there's nothing on right now. This is the energy level in the room. I'm going to push the button to slow it down. As you can see, this is not. I don't know if you can. Okay, that's the light. Okay. It's called a REM pod. It detects fluctuations in temperature. It tests electromagnetic fields. So since I brought it to my office, this is all it does. It does not shut off. But when I take it home, it does it once in a while. But here, it's insane what it does. Okay, so we're just going to shut him off. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's like my camera. It focuses in and out. You can get those on only, I would not recommend buying them just anywhere. I would go to specific websites that sells these type of things because you can get some nonsense made and you don't know if it's been refurbished, or you get these brand new. This little piece of equipment here was $300. So it is costly, but it actually, as you can see, it works like a charm. Hi, Chloe Jade. I can send you also what place next week. Yeah, that's one good place too. The ghost store is really good. Okay. I am going to start now. Um, okay, sorry. Just checking on something. All right. All right, Mandy. I know first word. Phoebe, we're not doing any cases tonight. Where it's only group read tonight. This is specifically for that. Okay, we can do that on another night. This is specifically for people. No casework tonight is basically what it is. Okay. So I am going to give you a few things that have been coming through. The first names that have come through were Chris, also Miss K, and the name Mandy just now. Mandy. Oh, there you are, Miss K. Let's see. Your brother's name was Chris. Also, I do want to bring up a name that came through the live, members live. I think it was Leigh Thomas or Lee Thomas. Is there anybody on that here by that name? I'd like to see you pop up. Yes. So Chris was the first name that I heard several times, and Miss K directly after that. I go by what they call out. So Miss K was one of them. Chris was another. There was a Chris on here earlier. But depending on what Chris we're talking about here, this could be the, you know, the weird foots. Chris again. Okay. What Chris are we referring to? Is it somebody on here, or are we talking about another person? Oh, that's okay. He can watch all he wants. It doesn't bother me. He can watch. I'm not on here for him. Right, exactly. No loss there. Okay, so that part is done then. We know who that is. Okay, so we're going to go back to Miss K, unless we are. Miss K, what does number 7 mean to you? How do you connect to the number 7? I'm being told, Miss K, number 7. Oh, yeah, definitely a creeper. I don't talk about anything other than what we need to talk about here. What about the number 7 for Miss K? Time. There was 6 in my family plus 1 niece. Okay. This comes from the male side, though. Very close, immediate. Okay. Also, the name Sean is being said. Oh, your dad's family, number 7. Is there a name Sean that comes in? So we have lots of Seans. I know a Sean that passed. Okay, because this is strictly for just Miss K right now, ladies, okay? If something else comes in through that way, I will definitely decipher. Okay. What about a Chris for you? Miss K, Chris for you. Because Chris is loud and clear again. Boom. Loud and clear. Ironically, that's coming up again. Hello from the other side. That's funny. I know Chris too. Okay. Okay, fine. That's a song he used to sing. Okay. Hello from the other side. That was a song he used to sing. Oh, that's funny. I was thinking you were getting a genuine hello. He's just talking about hello from the other side. So they show you in strange ways that way. Okay. Chris Tom. What about a Tom? I'm getting a bunch of names for you specifically. What about a Tom for you, Miss K? I know the Tom too. God. Quite the funny reference here. I'm not sure symbolically what this means or if this means exactly what it means. I'm hearing clasp, like a clasp, like maybe he's referencing a clasp to something, like my clasp is undone. Clasp and broke. They're really funny people. Okay. Good. Um, does that mean anything to you? First, I want to hear back from you for that, but then I want to ask you something else that was just said. Chris gave me watch. The clasp was broke. Okay, so we're referencing to him then. Okay. Also, Miss K, drive, pull. What's that mean? It was like a break. Okay, it was like a bracelet watch. I used to have one of those. Yeah. What about drive and pull? Was there an accident or was there some sort of Lisa Ann, hopefully soon. I only seen one though. Okay. Miss K, was there something about a pull and drive? We won't even get into that discussion, Tammy. Voting, I don't even want to know. He hit a pole, car accident, is Shane, died on impact. Oh, okay, gotcha. Thank you, Sylvia. Okay, either a mark is a mark on the body or mark is a person for you, Miss K. There's a lot of mails coming through tonight at high speed. Oh, Chris. Chris, also Mark. Chris and Mark. Chris and Mark. I know a mark that passes. Okay. Time. Time will tell what? What's this mean for you? Time will tell. What are you waiting on? What do you mean, Miss K? What's going on with you? If you don't want to say on here, you definitely don't have to. You definitely don't have to. Is there a situation that is going on with you? Time will tell. There's a situation you're waiting to hear on something, or is it something that has to do with you specifically? No. Hmm. Time will tell what? I also have a Lisa Ann that's being mentioned as well. Sorry to anybody that I'm not saying hello to, guys. Thank you, Susie, for always backing me on that. Something my dad would always say to be patient. Oh, okay. Okay. Your dad would tell you to say to be patient. Okay, time will tell. Okay, I thought there was a situation going on with you in that way. Symbolization can be a little rough. You have to work out the niches. I know Lisa and Anne. Okay. Yes, Miss Phoebe from Down Under. Give what? Give to what? What do you mean? You have to be very specific so I know exactly what to give back in message, okay? My sister is Lisa. Okay. I'm not sure what feather represents to you. Have you guys seen, you or your sister have been seeing any feathers lately that you just, oh, that's a symbol or something to that nature? Give to also feather. And as someone who passed, okay. I'm being spoken of a feather, especially. Feather means my dad. Okay. And silver. Okay. Show. Please give. Which means our origin. It looks like a feather too. Oh, that's awesome. I love that. I'm also being told, please show, give Anne. Mark. Pull. K. Is K a name or just the letter K? Give some. That's his Auntie Anne. Okay. Because I hear show, please give Anne, Mark, pull K, give some advice. 1. Drive. Mark's auntie. Oh, so, okay. So Anne is Mark's aunt. Also hand. Drive. Yes, okay. I'm not sure what reference this is around the neck. This could, I want to reference as a piece of jewelry, but I also don't know if it's jewelry because it's down around the neck. This could be a seat belt. This could be a form of jewelry. Also, what about the baby? Being told baby. 2. Being showed the number 2. Is somebody currently having a pregnancy or is this past tense? Yes, 2 new babies. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh yeah, Susie. I guarantee you he's lurking because not only did I pull from Miss K the name, but prior to that, I asked specifically, and they stated he's watching. Yes, thank you so much. My cousin both had babies very close together. Okay. What do you mean divine? Divine intention. It was supposed to turn out that way. They're supposed to are they close in proximity? Do they live close together? Do they, because I'm hearing that's very sweet to hear something like that. Divine intention. Miss K, can you answer that? My cousin both had babies very close together. Divine intention, when one, I've never heard that in a reading when it comes to yes. So then they're supposed to be together. This could be for me, why this comes to me this way. I would assume that they were together before, like a twin thing, and they would have came back to this life separately, but working things out. They're brothers, so they're close. Okay. That's beautiful. I love that. Divine intention. It was supposed to be that way for them. I'm not sure what something as simple as this could mean, but oh, they're very, very close. That's awesome. I love that. It was supposed to be that way. It wasn't supposed to be anything other than divine intention then. So what is this? Is this something small? But I never say something small is stupid because it could have something very big meaning. What does rake mean? Rake. The babies are like twins. Okay. What does rake mean? Also, I did ask about the necklace earlier. It could be what looks to be necklace, or it could be seatbelt. But to me, I don't see it going across the chest. I see it around the neck. I don't know if it's a tattoo. To me, it's like a form of jewelry almost. That's the feeling I get from it. But yellow, the truth seeker, I feel like it's jewelry. Maybe something could have been passed down, or something that my dad had a necklace around him. Okay, that makes sense. Um, thank you, Ginger. I'm not sure why that would be doing that. I will, Tish, I will look into that, okay? I have people that are saying that they want to buy a membership, but they're not able, they haven't been able to find the button as well, which I think is strange. When you're on my YouTube page, it should pop up. Maybe I can pull it up on my phone. I'm not sure. It's Sacred Big Green Stone bought by my cousin over in the coffin. Okay. I love that. Is it only on like phones that you guys can't really see? I would tell anybody to go through like a laptop or a computer desktop to see, because I'm going to try to pull it up for you now to see any, so I can try to show you guys from my standpoint. Let's see. So you see how I'm going to show you from a side view because the light is so bright. So if you go to my page, you're going to see things on the top of it, and it's going to say home, video, shorts, lives, community, memberships, and store. Memberships is where you have to go. Oh, that's the significance of the necklace. Okay. A lot of people are saying they don't have trouble when they're on the desktop or a laptop. I'm not sure, but I will there is a way you can do it from the iPhone or the other way. Yeah, you're right, Mary Moore. There is. Yeah, because I'm hearing carved. That makes sense why I hear carved, Miss K. That's so spot on. What a what about the rake? RAKE. What does it have? Um, thank you, Susie. I appreciate that. Thank you, everybody. I'm not the best tech person there is on here. I can speak to passed on people all day, but tech, sorry. Um, um, Miss K, can you tell me what rake means? RAKE. I know that's a small word and it might mean something big. It might not mean anything, but they're referencing it to me. Also, Lloyd, the name Lloyd. Is there a Lloyd on here? This might be from SK still, but I swear I seen a Lloyd on here. Something Lloyd. Oh, there you are, you. Yes. 1111. I just want to spell your name so that way I can not forget. Okay. All right. So, Miss K. Wow. What do you think tonight, dear? You got a lot coming through. You have a lot of people on the other side. See, I didn't hear Jack. I heard rake. RAKE. Very specific. Your reading was awesome. You have a lot of people. It's like talking to them here. Yeah. And this is why in cases when I speak to them, I use not just my senses because I have to sometimes question my senses, even though they're telling me something different, but I have to use my own senses. Yellow Truth Seeker. I have to use my own senses and listen to what Spirit tells me. But I never second guess what Spirit tells me because they are the ones that are communicating. They are the ones, there cannot be me without them. So we are connected in spirit. We are connected. We are uniquely intertwined that way. Mediumship is that way. But you have other senses that come with this thing. So great reading. I really appreciate it. You are so very welcome. Yes, everyone welcome Yellow Truth Seeker. Maddie or Patty? Okay, Deborah. I'm so glad. Yeah, it was when they come like that. I love that. I just love that you were able to validate each person and each person. And the point where it really got me a laugh was when Mark was talking about his aunt, but you validated that, and I wouldn't have known that, but because they didn't reference aunt, they just kept giving me the names. But giving some advice. That's what I needed an answer for. It's like they were giving you advice for something. Were you asking for advice prior to? Was that something you were doing? Was asking for some sort of advice, Miss K? Jesse Lane, 153. I still have Adele in my head. I love Adele. She is the best. Okay. Yeah, big family reunion for sure. I contacted Ann to get a hold of his younger brother. Okay. There you go. Mitzi Collins, hello. Bogey, at the time of the, okay, Miss K. What I get for that is I will dream. First of all, I will hear certain things, but I also can sense sickness in people through their eyes. So when my grandkids get sick, before they get a fever, before they get a cough, before they get weary, I'll notice something in their eyes. Let's just start off with that for an example. I'll notice their eyes have a different energy, so to speak. And I'll tell my son or my daughter, next couple days, watch out. Most likely tomorrow. Perfect example. My granddaughter Dream. She's a dream walker. I call her Dream Walker because she comes to me all the time in her sleep, but she leaves her body. And one time she came to me, and to be honest, I'm going to say it. I was in the bathroom, and usually Chase follows me in the bathroom. Cats do that. I'm sure that weird stuff. Cats do that to you guys too. I assumed it was my cat. My door whipped open. No Chase. And I felt this overwhelming energy of my granddaughter, and I knew it was her. I could feel her energy. I could smell her. And every energy has a unique smell to them. And I knew it was her, and she was a really sad energy. And I called my daughter up right away, and I said, you better go check on Dream right now. And she said, Mom, she's fine. I said, no, she's not fine. I said, you need to put her in bed with you for the night just to keep safe look on her, make sure she's okay through the night because she has seizures. And sure enough, she calls me the next morning and says, Mom, you were right. Dream woke up with 102.5 fever, and she could have had a seizure because of that. She has several seizures where a spike in temperature will cause her to have a seizure. So that's just one of the things that I'm able to do when it comes to that. But to sense death in people, I can, but at the same time, not in the way that I can in sickness. I will hear the death knocks, bang, bang, bang. So if it's really close to me, I'll hear them really loud, 1, 2, 3. But I hear them as I'm coming out of my sleep, and I know it's the death knock because it's either really loud, really distant, or there's nobody around me knocking. The other one is I dream of numbers of the exact date of that person's passing. So I won't know who it is unless that person's in the dream with the numbers. And oh, okay, Miss K. You asked for her advice. You drove to the country to see her when you needed advice. Okay, that makes sense because she give some advice. So I do that with death and I do that with birth. But when I dream of the same number that adds up, so I could dream of so many different numbers, but if they add up to the same number, then I know someone is going to pass away on that specific day. The death knocks. I'll also get a sense of having to say goodbye to somebody all the time, even though I'm not in their vicinity. I'm not talking to them on the phone. I need to go see them. It's a sudden urge that I need to go see somebody, and I don't know why. It's that urge of sadness. So it comes to me in different measures, so to speak. Yellow the Truth Seeker, that makes a lot of sense because it's like the energy, they're showing up in a way to where you want to say goodbye, and sometimes you really don't know why, but it's there. Oh, well, tell her I said hello, and make sure you let her know who came through for her. Yeah, Bogey. It's a different challenge for and you don't have to be related to me to know that you're going to pass away. If it's somebody, a family friend, it can just be a family friend, but if somebody that was really close to me, the knocks are massively boom, 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 loud. I don't know what that means, Emily. A rake. Try not to trip over a rake. I don't know. Well, you'll figure out what that means. Make sure. Maybe ask her when you go see her. Hey, what do you know what rake means? Is it something that? And it could be an inside joke. It could mean anything at this point. Get back to me on what that means. God only knows what that's going to mean. No, it's probably some ironic thing that he did in life. It could be he was outside doing yard work, and I don't know where he starts being funny and singing into the rake like a microphone. For some reason, that comes to mind. I don't know what that means, but maybe that's what it is. So it could be something that was really funny. I need to go back to the next person. Oh, I'm hearing Emily now too. Shoot. Okay. Who is this for? Is this for Emily or is this for Lloyd? I'm gonna say Lloyd because okay, Lloyd. Okay, Lloyd. I'm gonna say Lloyd, okay, but you know who you are. This is a male, Lloyd. Yes, okay. How do you validate the male coming through for you? Family or friend? Or do you just not know who it is? You have to at least just give me a yes or no. They will give me more information as we go along. You don't have to tell me who it is. You can just say family, friend. Yeah. Yep, I know. No idea? Okay, that's fine. That makes it even more fun. I'm being told this was a joke. I'm being told. Oh, okay. Miss K says, oh, she gets it. When we were kids, we got a photo of a band using like garden tools, the garbage bin for drums, tennis rackets for guitars. So, and rake could be the microphone. Okay, that's why I mentioned that to you. Okay. Back to Lloyd. I'm sorry, I have to laugh at this. We need to help pull this off. So, whatever that means for you, I'm not sure yet. Well, I guess we'll figure it out. Mom. Oh yeah, I love it though. This is the fun thing about it. This is not everything has to be so serious and tear jerking. They want you to be happy. They want to see you laugh. When you laugh, you raise your vibrations. So that's the best part about this job. When you laugh, you make somebody happy. Not only am I helping you in one way, but I'm helping you in the other way by raising your vibrations to make you feel better, to understand that they really are over there. Okay, Lloyd, can you come on here, honey? You're welcome. I'm being what does this I'm being referenced mom sick. Now, just two different words, it doesn't mean it's one. Timestamp that. Yes, been nagging mom to get her ass on here. Somebody in the building? Hear that disembodied voice. Male side, timestamp. Passed 4 years ago. Okay, makes sense. Well, you got your wish. What does neck mean? What does the neck have to do with anything for you? How do you connect with neck? This could be there was something wrong with the neck. This could be something with the throat area. I'm clearing my throat an awful lot. Usually it has to do with the lungs, heart, chest, or throat area. But I'm hearing neck specifically. Dixie, that makes sense because I was just hearing a bunch of stuff. She had the heart issues. Okay. But the throat area specifically, did she have like dry throat a lot? I'm being told maybe had lozenges a lot or things that she had to maybe dry mouth or something to that nature. Something that having to do with the throat area, like it could be dry mouth, it could be anything to that nature. I'm having to clear my throat. Kind of, what about asthma? What about the lungs? Something to where she's always, something always clearing your throat, clearing your throat. Probably asthma, respiratory. I just heard another name on here, but who was it? I think it was, okay. Go back to that in a minute when I'm done here with you, Lloyd. Why? I'm being told to say 1. What does the number 1 have to do? Yeah, I can definitely have hard time catching myself. I'm supposed to say 1. What does the word number 1 mean? Say 1. I'm being told say 1. Give. Not sure what 1 means? I guess it'll come to you maybe. Okay. Welcome sunshine for you. Asthma definitely. It just happens like that. It doesn't struggle. What? Okay. I'm hearing member, whole, and struggle, but struggle came so loud. Battle, struggle. Died of heart attack. Okay, but prior to the heart attack, I'm hearing battle, struggle. Just keep on hearing struggle, battle. But also whole, but member. What does member mean? Is it something she Um, was there something that, I guess I'm going to ask it this way because I'm going to symbolize it this way. Was there something that she struggled with emotionally? I don't mean just health, physical health. Was there something that she emotionally battled with? Because she's talking about feel, battle, struggle. Feel is emotion for me in symbolization. Emotionally, totally? Okay. Um, I'll say, okay, I'm hearing, want you to know it's not your fault. Is there some times where you felt like you were to blame or someone blamed you for something? Oh, okay. In her childhood and with her 4 kids. Want you to know it's not your fault. Struggle, battle. So we're referencing this over and over again. So this tells me there was something she really struggled with in that area. Um, hold on one second. Let me get a different piece of paper here. Makes complete sense to you? Okay. That's as long as you can. Thank you for Susie for putting that up there for people. People really ask about that. Excuse me. Um, I'm not sure. I'm going to ask this. Okay. When we talk about the chest, we're talking about the chest right now, okay? Because this is coming up. Yeah. She talks about the chest, also a mark. Did she have any type of welcome, Mrs. K? Was there something on her chest that she was there any surgeries? Was there something with the chest area that she had done? She's talking about mark chest. Let's see. Before. One. Give time. Heal. Nope, no one's late. Stint. Okay. That went bad. Okay. Because you see what she's telling me? She's talking about hole. So the hole can represent the item being put back in. And she speaks about the one again. That's the one we're going on again. And she goes, give time to heal. Was she the type of person that because I get the reference of okay, went to hospital to get hospital, got stent, and passed fast. Okay. Was she the type of person who because I'm hearing why break down, why cry? You know, it's like it was a feeling of Don't cry over. Don't cry over. Don't. It's kind of like saying, "Don't cry over spilled milk." She had that kind of way about her. Don't cry over. Um, don't be so emotional. Kind of like I'm nothing to cry over, or I'm not special. Something's that nature to that effect, where she addressed things of emotions that way. All right. Never showed her emotion. Okay. So if one of you would have cried or had an emotional way about feeling some type of way of fear or worry, was kind of like saying, "What are you worried about? Don't cry over it." It's that kind of feel. Something about worry down the road. Did she make a statement like, "Don't worry about things now. Worry about things down the road when things get worse"? Is that the kind of statement she would use, or feel as she would give you when it was? She said, "I'm still here." I'm still here. See, I haven't gone anywhere. I feel like you would know that that would be her type of demeanor. My grandma was very strong and stern. I have to drink a lot during lives. Everything gets froze up sometimes around here when energy comes through. So that's why a lot of people like, you smack your gums a lot. Well, I have to in order to heat the saliva in my mouth. But that was the last thing she just stated. "I'm still here. See, I haven't gone anywhere." Which I think is funny because that's her understanding. I've gone, I've left the physical, but I'm still in spiritual. Understandable. So she had really tough skin. Raising 4 kids on your own is no joke. It's also being said that strength isn't some fad like some people go through fads like styles or things that life gives us. And I am the youngest of four and get it now why she did what she did. It's like she's telling me strength isn't some phase or fad you have to go through. It's a win for strength. You have to be constantly strong in order to do so. To mention this, um, are you going through something physical or emotional yourself that she's giving this type of reading to you? As you can see, I'm beet red. I'm my skin is burning hot here. I'm dry up here. It's like with the times of life, life isn't some fad or some style or some, yeah. It's the fact that when you have to have strength, it isn't some thing that goes in and out of your life. You have to be strong at all times. Whoa, Edmund, my grandmother had 19 kids. Wow. Now that's, I bet you she was tough as nails too. I realize why she did what she did. My oldest sister lives near me now, and she has different perspectives. What about, is there something going on with you in your life that she would reference being strong for? Oldest sister got the wrath of mom. Um, is there something that you feel you don't have the strength for, or building up the strength to do? Is that what we're goal? Because I'm hearing goals as well. Goals. In order for your goals, you have to have strength, I'm being told. And I'm doing this. Why? I don't know. This is an Italian thing. So what's going on there? That's might just me, but not knowing if she's Italian or not. Good, but I'm getting this. Also, sister. Bogey, yes. Oh no, always hate hearing all look fine up makeup. I'm currently going back to work after being home with the kids for years. Okay. So, goals, that takes a lot of strength to do, because I know for me, it was hard for me to get back on track and go back to work. I had to build up enough, not just courage, but, you know, when we're as moms, sometimes some women feel outdated. Am I going to fit in at the workspace? Am I going to be able to be and do what others can do at the workspace? Um, Sometimes our goals, we have to have utter and complete strength. I always tell women, your fears are your biggest successes, because the more we let our fears hold us back, is the more that we have to understand we're letting our fear take control of us completely. And I tell you what, ladies, if you can carry a baby for 9 months, you can. And I always say this, when you have a baby and you become no sleep, you are running on no energy, but you can get the house clean, you can take care of an infant, you can run that household. Don't let the outside world scare you, because if you can handle that in itself, you can handle anything. We have the job of giving birth to children because we were physically designed like that, because we are multitaskers. We can handle anything. And I think you are absolutely going to be fine. I think you have the ability to do anything you want to do. And there is strength in goals. Having goals is an amazing thing. For a fact. Jessica Lane, absolutely. Women are always putting themselves on the back burner, but when it's time for us to hop off, we're afraid to get our feet dirty, because we don't know what's on the other side. Because I don't want to say this in a rude way, but as moms, we lose the identity before we had children. Independent, growing, people. But when because we are the givers of life, we put everything aside and everybody behind us so we can be a good mom and we can raise our children. And then to let them go and understand we have to go back to work, that's a hard thing too, because you're still emotionally wanting to be there with them all the time. No. And this is not to tear down any man, but I mean, women can be sick, carry a baby, mornings. I don't know why the hell they call it morning sickness, first of all, because I had morning sickness from the time I was pregnant till the time I gave birth. I was sick too as well, and it was awful. I mean, I couldn't look at certain colors. I couldn't smell tuna fish. I couldn't drink certain kind of like chocolate milk. It was awful. It was terrible. But I mean, to know that I carried a child inside me for 9 months and I brought him into the world, her into the world. I did natural childbirth for all my children. I didn't take any pain meds. Um, that was just my preference. I didn't want them to have any stimulants in their body. Yeah, we all have our strange pet peeves when we were pregnant. They all come out. She could for for you. She talks about having strength, and I think that's why she brought up the story about um, emo- also your emotions. Also, don't let your emotions get the best of you. Your fears can get the best of you, and I think that's why she brought up the emotion part too, because I think your emotions can get more of you. So and it stops you. So remember, your emotions are only out of fear based. You remember you're in control of your thoughts and of your fears. Jump into something even if you don't know what you're doing in the workforce, because you're going to learn it either way. And who cares if somebody knows more than you, and who cares if you don't get it on the first try. But the point of it is you're going to do it. You're going to try it. So no matter what and how it turns out, I did it, I tried it, and there you are. I learned it. Sorry, I'm getting something on my phone. Oh, okay. Now, I need to move to Emily. I hope with that information. Oh, hold on a minute. Sorry, Em. I heard bogey from a female. So, bogey is very unique because I know I only have one bogey on here. Yes. Yeah, a lot of people are Switzerland families. Um, that's the hard part. But you are emotionally, that also tells me you have the emotional strength that she goes back to having too, because to play Switzerland in families is that's a rough up and down. Yeah, give me 1 minute, Bogey. I'm trying to see what's coming through for her. For you, Bogey, are you I'm being told that you need, this is kind of like a guidance thing for you. Are you not resting enough? Are you not getting enough time for yourself, enough sleep? Something going on with you physically? Not that you might be sick or anything like that. No. What is there something going on with you that you need to apply yourself more for your special needs of yourself? Yes? Okay. Because this is what came through for you just now. Give strength, lay, rest. I don't know if that means something that needs to be laid to rest for you, or is it that you just physically are wearing yourself down too much and you need to rest? Awkward. I have eating issues. My cats keep me awake. Awkward. I have. Well, if you don't feel awkward about anything, if you don't want to discuss anything here, you don't have to. But it's also referencing um, how would I reference this? Bogey, how do you connect with a male, first of all? Also, because I also have a male here. Um, Timestamp. You can hear stuff going on out in the hallway. Um, um, there is a male here, but how I'm being shown here. Well, first of all, let's go back to the resting thing. Um, laying something to rest. You have to give yourself proper strength. Um, don't feel anything that comes out here is awkward, because it's not, we're not here to judge anybody. We're here to give guidance, love, and whatever we can do for people, send people healing energy. So don't feel in any way you have to feel out of sorts here. There is a man that has just shown me, and how he showed me was he is to the left of you, but he also had something wrong with his leg, and that would have been his left side as well. I'm being told you need to take the time you need. Strength. Back to time. To get yourself whole again. there's a focal point you are focusing on deeply. Your uncle had the issue with the leg? Okay. I think he's showing me the leg because specifically, well, thank you, Yellow. Just, I really appreciate you. You, this is going back to your inner, to your understanding of giving yourself enough strength will give you also the opportunity to make it through anything that you need to make it through. But you also have to understand that that is a mental capability to where strength, our fears stop us from our strengths. And it's almost like as if you're trying to fit yourself into this bubble, but you're also trying to look from the inside out around your bubble, and you're trying to look at everybody else, and you're trying to understand that this person is like this person is like this. I want to be a certain way, but why can't I be that way? Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like you see things from the inside out, and you don't understand why they are, but at the same time you guard yourself so much that perfect for my dad. Yes. Okay. You guard yourself so much that you take in the inability to heal yourself emotionally, spiritually, mentally, and physically. You ever hear the statement that our minds are our worst enemy? We overthink. Sometimes we overthink things that are and make things more than what they are. And the awful part about that is when we take all that in and we constantly we turn in timestamp. We turn and we move and we turn and we move in our thoughts and our minds. And when we don't get that balance and we don't get that energy balanced, it can really make us disheveled in a way in energy. So that might bring us in more intrusive thoughts, feeling unbalanced, not being able to sleep, feeling that we shouldn't do something, and it's poor eating habits, poor sleeping habits. We tend to isolate more. All of these things in nature. Okay. You have had an eating disorder since you were 16 and you are 66. Okay. And I think that's what you being in a bubble, and what I meant by you being in the inside and you're looking out, you view in a way that other people, the way they look, the way they feel, and you don't understand why you can't be that way. But at the same time, honey, an eating disorder that is emotionally connected to some sort of trauma. And when we focus on trauma, it comes out in the way we behave, our mental stability, the way we eat, the way we sleep. Have you seen anybody about that? Have you talked to anybody about that? My sister used to be that way. She was had it very bad actually. She had to go to she had to go see a specialist, and it turned out great. The ball's going off again behind me. Everybody, can you see that? So the ball was just going off. And when we're talking to Bogey, this is what's going on in the background. So I do believe, honey, that you have to understand, you have people that are looking after you. But when I want to get to this point specifically, when the man showed me his foot, his leg, it was like he was telling me, you have to put one foot in forward and in front of the next, and you have to try to take those steps to manage in a better way so that you can feel better. You can emotionally start to see things with more open eyes, so to speak. I'm sorry, I didn't understand that, honey. My ed control. Oh, gotcha, honey. I gotcha. Okay, so, um, Bogey, I would like you to try some exercises, and I don't mean physical. I mean mental. I want you to try. Um, Now, when I tell you they have affirmations for literally everything, they have affirmations for literally everything. You can go look up that specific problem you're having. They have affirmations for that. And I really, really, really would like you to do these every single day. I would like you to ground and center. I would like you to be on a more conscious level of what you're doing. Meditate. Do things that spiritually turn your senses on. Because when you are turned on spiritually, you will start to see the senses in your body turn up. And when you do so, you're going to see things in your body change to where you're not going to be so caught up in the way you eat, the way you think, so to speak. You'll be here when you're balanced here, the rest follows. You understand? And as I stated earlier, my sister, she had the same problem, but she saw somebody and she got better. Okay? It can be a road to discovery, but it can be a road to healing too. And I think that's why you had certain people coming through for you specifically. Rest mentally, strength. Understand you have to put that one foot. And he showed me a foot that was damaged. So he's telling me in so many words that you feel damaged in a way. In some way, you feel damaged. And you have already validated that you are being controlled by the issue you're having. And when that holds you back, you become energetically damaged. But the point of this is you don't have to be energetically damaged. You can open yourself up to healing. Healing comes within. I healed myself when no medications worked. And I'm not saying don't go to the doctors. I'm not a doctor. I would prefer that you went and seen a doctor because they really can help you work wonders. I was told when I had COVID, I was on antibiotic after antibiotic after. They told me, well, this is the last antibiotic I can give you. After this, I'm sorry, we can't help you anymore. And basically sent me home to more or less depart. And that was my last straw. I had it. And I went so deep within myself spiritually that I literally healed myself spiritually. Because when we are sick, not only are we sick physically, we're sick spiritually in a way. So that will help you if you can get yourself in spiritually connected, you can help yourself physically as well. But you should also go see a doctor to help you. That will make you understand it's all in the mind, honey. It has nothing to do with your body type. Everybody is supposed to look different for a reason. Everybody is supposed to have different shapes, different sizes, different looks. Everything is supposed to be different. We would be boring if we all looked the same. Okay? And I want you to do self love affirmations. I want you to do the other affirmations for the disorder that you're talking about. That will really help balance you in many ways. Honey, but I don't think you understand. I would tell you you're not ugly. To make yourself understand this, ugliness is not here. Ugliness is when there's ego and hate and somebody that reaches out to hurt somebody, and you're not ugly. We are taught that if we are not a size 0, that we don't have a specific meaning in the world. I want you to understand women 50, 60 years ago, they were full-figured, beautiful women. Nowadays, we are taught to hate our bodies. We are taught that if we're not a size 0, or we have a little roll here or a roll here, then that we must be not loving ourselves enough, taking care of ourselves enough. Not true. There you go. See, Bogey? Look, that's you, honey. You see that going off again? You have to understand, life is too precious to send yourself inwards when we are meant to be outwards. Our energy is meant to be outwards in a way we're supposed to illuminate our soul. And I want you to work with yourself. Also, I want you to work with yourself in the way that you help heal yourself spiritually, because you don't want to just depend on someone else to help you. And this is where the strength comes in. This is where you're having the ability to help yourself as well, because you have the ability, you have the strength, you have the power. Each and every one person on here does. Okay? I tell you what, I was 120 pounds. And when I started hitting menopause, I had a really hard time because I have gained weight. What I look like now is not what I looked like 20 years ago, 50, not even 10 years ago, not even 5 years ago. But you know what? I also know that loving me is far more important than having to prove myself to anybody out there that weight is not what is beautiful. What we have within us is beautiful. What we can do is beautiful. What we give is beautiful. Understand that. You are special. Okay? I would like you to really spiritually take on these affirmations every day. Self-love, self-confidence, the ones we spoke about earlier. It will change something for you if you really can put in just a little bit of time in the morning, okay? Because it loosens up the thoughts. It stops putting those negative triggers in your mind, and you start replacing it and hardwiring your brain for the positive ones, okay? And you have that ability, honey. You have that ability to do so. Everything is going to be okay. Take one day at a time. Don't see food as a punishment. See food as healing, as a blessing, as loving yourself. Food is used in many cultures as medicine. It's used in many cultures as healing. Absolutely. And everybody on here absolutely can attest to that. Bogey, we're here for the long run, so you're going to have to realize we are a group of, I call this group, my live group is I call everybody light workers, even though I know that's kind of corny, but we're here to lift people up, give people information, whether it's health, whether it's spiritual, whether it's love, whether it's guidance. That's what these lives are about. It doesn't have to be supernatural. It doesn't have to be spiritual in that way. But here we talk about literally everything. Well, now you got your group. Yes, absolutely, Aggie. Thank you, Edmund. Yes, we are. Yep. Loving yourself is the very first step. And the one thing that I can give you advice for is what they told my sister was seeing food as an enemy will give you the negative effect. Seeing food as a healer and understanding that food will love your body and heal your body and give you the proper nutrition, that's what turns on in your mind. But also the self-love, the self-confidence, the all those affirmations, I will make sure you understand that those will rewire your brain and really work with you internally, mentally, and help you balancing your energy. I always talk about this. Grounding and centering is number one. Why? Because it takes all those negative emotions, all those negative thoughts and feelings, and it sends it through the ground, through your body. So you're losing all of that negative patterns, negative thoughts, negative anything, and you're just shifting it out of your energy, your auric field, and it's going to bring you more positive thoughts. Yeah, everybody can work here together. I mean, I could even come up with awesome recipes, and so can anybody here, and we can talk about that too. If that helps, we can do so. It doesn't have to be this all the time either. This is what a group is. This is what sticking together is. This is what a family feels like. This is what love is. We honestly care about people here. It doesn't have to be so spiritual and in supernatural. Okay? My problem is I love carbs. I love carbs. And there's days where I won't eat them because I know, hey, I had carbs yesterday. I'm not going to have any today. I'm going to eat natural vegetables, fruits, and I will have some sort of protein. So your body changes as you age. And with food, it's more of, it's really just a mental capacity. Thank you. Yeah, there's a lot of different people from a lot of different backgrounds on here that can give you all sorts of amazing recipes. I just bought the Lumen. Has anybody heard that of that thing that's going around there? The Lumen. It actually helps me track my carb intake. So that's another great thing. But as we age, know that we become either more dominant in estrogen, so we gain weight more so as we get older. So we just have to stick to more of a healthier way of eating. So technically speaking, as you age and you hit menopause, we actually are eating a more colorful diet, more salads, less carbs. And less carbs, I mean the refined carbs, breads, pastas, sugar. There's nothing wrong with eating sweet potato, with vegetables, whole foods, fruits, anything like that. You can stick to you can eat fish, you can eat chicken, you can eat red meats. It doesn't have to be so restrictive. I try to stay away from sugar as much as possible. I give myself 1 day a week to have that kind of thing, and the rest of the week I don't try not to have any. Juicing is a wonderful aspect. But like I said, we're here for you in any way we can be. And also go talk to your doctor about that. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing embarrassing about that. The first step, and that's what we're going to go back to, because the gentleman there, you said your uncle, taking that first step into acknowledging that it's a problem for you is okay. No judgment here. There is nothing here but love for you. I actually have a red light therapy as well. It's from Juve. Works wonders. Wintertime, we have less vitamin D. It also can send you into depression. Not having proper vitamin D It can also not be good for weight loss. So a lot of different things on here that can cause a lot of different issues. You had an uncle that favored you. That's awesome. Another timestamp. Do you guys, when I look up, do you guys hear what I hear or do you not hear what I hear? And I can hear. I can hear. So when I look up, that's because I hear almost like as if there's walking across the ceiling. Huh. Well, happy Halloween, everybody. I would like to go to any questions you might have. Okay. Let's see. I don't know if I'm missing a lot of your messages. Lost voices, it can vary. Some people, it can happen as soon as they leave the body. Some people, it takes years. Some people, it depends on what they need to do spiritually. My dad took 5 years. With other people, it can take shorter time. With longer time, it doesn't really there is no really time frame. I think it depends on the person, the spirit. So when after this video is over, go back and see if you hear anything. Um, go back to the video and see if you hear anything in the timestamps. Strangely, sometimes this happens. You all know. So not. Hold on a minute. Kelly T. Were twins together in a previous lifetime? Sometimes they can be. Yes. Bogey. So not everyone has loved ones grief them. I like to think so, yes, but it deciphers who comes to get them. Like perfect example. Um, the man that I read with his wife, his adoptive father showed up. His grandfather showed up for him. And I thought it was the sweetest thing ever because, understanding that he was adopted, sometimes it's the people you least expect to show up for you. There'll always, yeah, exactly. There'll always be someone to greet you. Betty Cook, a jaguar as a spirit animal. What does it mean regarding women? Um, well, that's specifically uniquely to whoever person sees it. For me, my husband always says, "Oh, your friend's out." Um, Perfect example. When I leave my home, no matter what time of year it is, no matter where I go, I will have a flock of owls follow me, or I'll have one owl or two, and I will see them up in the sky no matter where I am. I could be on the way to the store, on the way to here. I was in uh, North Carolina and I saw my spirit animal there. So it doesn't matter where you are, it's very unique to a specific person. Bogey, you get bats. It's my granddaughter gets snakes. So it doesn't have to be this frolicking animal. It could be a frog for all you know. But there's a reason why it comes to you. It has that unique symbol for you for that reason. You love bats? Timestamp. Somebody in the building? Oh look, going off again. I heard a woman. You see how I hear the noise and then this goes off? Yes, I've heard remote viewing. I do remote viewing myself. Ladybugs are amazing. Miss K, I'm taking you all to get candy. Fine by me. Butterflies. You heard the lady? I heard the lady too, Miss K. That and then the ball went off. You see? And I heard walking. That's why I said, is anybody in the building? I always state through dreams are the best way to meet your spirit guides. Meditation as well. You have to understand your guides are on a high vibration. In order for you to meet them, your energy has to meet their energy. I am visited by black stray cats 24/7. They try to come in, jump on my roof, go under my house, always watching me. It's strange area. Oh, there's different reasons for that. Yeah, yellow, the truth seeker. That's the thing about spirit animals. I don't have just one. I have several. Um, it depends. You have some that come to warn you. You have some that are more of your. I will have the owl come to me when I notice I have um, thankfulness, gratitude. I wake up every morning and I state gratitude. I state thankfulness. I thank you for giving me ability to the universe, to thank you for the ability to get out of bed, to be able to do things that someone might not be able to. I have a lot of gratitude. And when I'm symbolically on the level of gratitude, I'll see owls. When I have wolves come to me in my dreams, I will see um, things going on in my life for, um, I'll have people that are trying to kind of purposely cause issues, things of that nature. Dana, I just think about a cat and there it is. Yeah. Owls are beautiful creatures. They will not hurt you. Oh, cats are very in tune with nature. Cats are very in tune with elements. Okay. Well, I'm going to shut this live down. How was everybody's night tonight? I will say one more message. I was meaning, I thought this was for Bogey, but this isn't. It's for the Lloyd. It's not Lloyd. Bring ID, get signed in. I'm not sure what that means. I hope everybody enjoyed tonight. What the? Are you for real? I swear to you, every time I hear something across the ceiling, I hear a voice. Yes, thank you, Kelly. Time stamping that. You heard that, Jessie Lane, this time? Okay. Okay, everybody. I hope you enjoyed tonight, and I hope that, I think we read a few people tonight, but at the same time, they were amazing messages. They were just awesome with the guidance they were giving. I love lives like this. So thank you to everyone. Okay. Timestamp. Loud and clear. I heard that over my left shoulder. Yes, everybody, have a wonderful Halloween, okay? Everybody stay safe. Please keep your animals inside for these couple days at least. Everybody send healing energy to Bogey and whoever needs it tonight. I think it's wonderful when we send healing energy to others because it really does matter. It really does help them spiritually. Thank you, Witchy Mama. I think working together and doing these lives when I can makes a difference for anybody involved. It teaches people that we're not alone. We're not by ourselves when it comes to the other side. Okay. Alrighty, everybody. Happy Halloween. Please stay safe. Keep your animals inside, and go back go back and review this video again. You're going to hear quite a few timestamps on here. The ball went off numerous times. I'm not even going to bother with the REM pod because it's just going to keep going haywire on me here. The energy is super, super like over the top here. And I noticed this place is more spiritually alive than my house is. Thank you, everybody. I hope you have a great night. stay safe, and I will see you all. I am going to be doing a Zoom in portions for people just because, and I will be working on them very soon. Bogey, thank you. I will be working on these Zoom lives. These are off YouTube. This won't be on YouTube. This will be, and you all need to get Zoom to whoever wants to be Zooming with me because it has to be done from my computer. I love it. So please, whoever wants to Zoom with me, make sure you have Zoom, first of all, because we can't Zoom if we don't have Zoom. Okay? Dana, I am Zoomable. All righty. All right, everybody. I hope you have a phenomenal night. Get some rest, okay? Don't mind my messy eyebrows. I don't even care. My makeup's coming off. Soon enough, you guys might see me with a different color hair and a complete cut. So don't be surprised if you see me pop on here and I look completely different. I'm okay with that. I'm trying new things. All right, everybody. Good night.